Okay, I hope screen is clearly visible to all. Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so today we are going to start with the actual contents of advanced programming concept syllabus, right? See what you have in the advanced programming concept. You are going to learn one programming language named as Python. So here we are going to look for the concepts from the Python programming language, and during the course of this syllabus, we are going to Yes, we are going to go through all the details of Python programming language, plus we will have the hands-on experiments in between when the concept is clear. So we will have this hands-on session. Okay, so we will not go with only the theoretical part. As soon as, let's say, if I discuss with you as a what is variable, so and what is the nomenclature and what we should give as a name, so immediately we will try to implement those parts. Okay, so this is how I plan to go with the syllabus. And if we go with this kind, it will be very easy to understand how this Python programming language is works. Okay, now we'll start with actually the contents of the syllabus. The very first chapter we have as introduction to Python and computer programming. So what are the contents of the unit? What is Python? Types of Python and the basic programs in Python. That means I wish to write a simple program for the Python programming language. Okay, so that is the syllabus of this unit. Now, okay, when you start with the with this introduction to Python and computer programming, so you must know the basic definitions. What is computer? What is programming? What is Python? It's nothing but a programming language. But what is computer and program? That you should know. I think we have discussed this part in the last lecture. The computer is nothing but a device which has an ability to store and manipulate, retrieve the data and process on the data which is stored already. Okay, so this is the things with the computer, and program is nothing but a set of instructions which are executing to perform specific tasks. Okay, so for that purpose we are going to learn the Python programming language here in the course. Yes, this is what the basic introductory part. In the last lecture, you have summarized what is keyboard, what is a monitor, what is a headset, what is then mouse, scanner, what is input device, what is output device. Okay, so all these things you have labeled in the last lecture. See why I use this term labeled, because there is two definitions. Okay, there are two definitions in the computer science or in the computer fundamentals. So what are those two definitions? See, the definitions of data and information. I will repeat again. The definition is related with data and information. Now, can any one of you tell me what is data and what is information? Yes, anybody? Again, I will repeat. Don't worry about the result. It may be correct or it may be wrong. Okay, just explain or what do you know about the data and what do you know about information? Data म्हणजे काय आणि information म्हणजे काय? Yes, do you have any idea? Anyone? Yes, anyone? Can you please tell me what is data and what is information? You might be have heard about these two words during when you have learned C and C++ language. So can you tell me what is data and what is information?
What's up?
What is data and what is information?
Don't know, sir.
Okay. Okay. It's okay if you don't know, but I'm expecting a little quick response. Okay. Now data is
डेटा
like
आपण सबमिट
any
करतो
raw
ना सर.
material. Data is, we call it as a raw material, and information is nothing but a process data. Information is nothing but a process data. Now I have an example. So what is this here? I have highlighted some here on the screen. What is this?
B letter.
Yes. Now when you come to know this is a B letter. हे B letter आहे हे तुम्हाला कसं समजलं?
We are writing ABCD.
Correct. Sir. See, make this as a sense. See, whatever. Yeah, but now I have one more question for you. Okay, so now if I show this the same thing, the highlighted word to a kid of year, let's say 2 or 3 years, त्यांना हे माहिती असेल का हा कॅपिटल बी आहे की स्मॉल बी आहे? असेल का माहित?
No.
No. See, त्यावेळेस why? Because the okay, that particular kid is not undergone through the some processing, the learning process. We have labeled it as a learning process. So he don't know about small letters, capital letters, forget about it, alphabets काय ते त्याला माहित नसते, बरोबर? त्यावेळेस त्याला जे काही असे शब्द असतील किंवा वर्ड्स असतील किंवा लेटर्स असतील, नंबर, सिम्बॉल्स, everything is data for that particular kid. But when the process happening, like one example of learning, if the learning process happens, okay, now the kid is now in the position to tell me like this is a word, this is a letter, this is a capital letter or small letters or a number or a special symbols and so on. Okay, म्हणजेच काय की डेटावरती ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही प्रोसेस करताय, प्रोसेस इट मे बी आय हॅव गिवन यू द वन सिम्पल एक्झाम्पल ऑफ learning is one process. Through that learning, the data is the processing is happening in the mind of that kid, and he will able to recognize, oh, this is a capital B letter. Okay, म्हणजेच काय की ह्या डेटाला ज्यावेळेस मी नाव देतो तर त्यावेळेस काय झालेली असते, माझ्या ब्रेन मध्ये एक प्रोसेसिंग झालेली असते, and I'm getting some information when I process the data. Okay, and that part we called it as a information. Okay, data is a raw material. Any raw material we called it as a data, and once we processed on the raw material, we get some meaningful information. Okay, so you may note somewhere, because these questions may be asked you in the interviews. Okay, final year of interviews. So, and it's a very basic. Okay, it is a very basic thing that one should know what is data and what is this information, and based on the information I can take the decision. Okay, now this is not part of our discussion today here. Now if you see this block diagram, okay, in last lecture we have covered up to this. These are the components and we have labeled and we have categorized as the processing, then input and the output. Okay, but how the things are happening inside it? Okay, how the things are happening inside this computer fundamentals or this computer system? Okay, that we are going to discuss it now here. Okay. See now, if you check, this is what a program or a data. Okay. Now you might be having might have written a program, or you might have like passing some data through keyboard to the your like system. आता याच्यामध्ये दोन प्रकारे तुम्ही इनपुट देऊ शकतात. एक तर एक असेल इन्स्ट्रक्शन किंवा सेकंड टाइप असेल तुमचा स्टोरेजसाठी. ओके. फॉर दिस, इफ यू चेक दिस राइट कॉर्नर बॉक्स, डॉटेड लाईन इंडिकेट्स द फ्लो ऑफ इन्स्ट्रक्शन. हे डॉटेड लाईन जे काय आहेत ह्या काय इंडिकेट करतात की इन्स्ट्रक्शनचा फ्लो इंडिकेट करतात. हाऊ इन्स्ट्रक्शन्स आर फ्लोज. And this complete line, dark line, indicates the flow of data. Okay, how data is flowed from one part to the other component. Okay, now it may be like in the form of programs, the data may be in the form of, or the instruction may be in the form of program, or by event of my mouse click. मी ज्यावेळेस असं क्लिक करतोय. Okay, if you check here at the left hand side, there are 4 slide layouts. Okay, when I click on this slide, ज्यावेळेस मी इथं एका स्लाइड वरती क्लिक करेल. Okay, now the input is given, and input is goes to this control unit, and it checks. I have clicked the left mouse button. So what is the left mouse operation for the left mouse button is to select. लेफ्ट क्लिक जर तुम्ही माऊसचं करत असाल तर त्याच्यासाठी मिनिंग काय आहे की ज्या ऑब्जेक्ट वरती मी क्लिक केला आहे तो सिलेक्ट करायचा आहे. ओके. when I click here, if you check here in the slide, when I click let's say this slide, okay, that means this slide need to be select for the presentation. Okay, how in this very fast it works. Within a fraction of second, it analyze what is the instruction and give it works accordingly. Okay, now we'll talk about data. So it is the or you can say the program, or let's say I'm having a movie or any audio clip or anything. So I'm getting it through some of the input devices. Now what are the input devices? As like we have seen, there is a scanner, or you can say pen drive. From pen drive you can get the data. And next thing is what you are going to store somewhere on your memory part. Okay, so here again there are 2 types. One is a primary memory and other is secondary memory. When we say primary memory is utilized only for the computation purpose. The secondary memory, that is nothing but your hard disk. Primary memory we called it as a RAM. Okay, random access memory. And secondary memory is nothing but your permanent memory, that is your hard disk. Okay, it is going to be stored somewhere on your hard disk. And if I need to fetch again, as like I think I discussed with you in the last lecture. Let's say I want to see your attendance of the last lecture. I know I have created one mechanical name folder, and in that folder I kept your attendance. So I will go to that part. I will make a double click on it, and this is how the roll numbers, student roll number from A division, those who were present, and these are the roll numbers from B division, those who were present yesterday, that means in the previous lecture. But for that I need to first input the data. मला आधी तो data store करून घ्यायला लागेल. When I have the data in my storage space, I can do any operations as per my requirement. Okay, now this is what first component, input unit. Second, memory unit, or also we called it as a storage unit. It is divided into 2 parts. One is a primary memory and other is secondary memory. Primary memory, it has a very less, and it is used only for the computation purpose, like your random access memory. And second part is secondary memory. It is used to store the large amount of data for the further usage. Okay, now we have one unit as central processing unit. Okay, what we have a central processing unit, short form CPU. Okay, now what it has one component as control unit and other is arithmetic logical unit. So whatever the computations best part, like you have arithmetic or you have any other computations like for dates, time and other related part. So this arithmetic logical unit is going to take care of your all the mathematical calculation or the computation related part. This control unit is there to take the decision based on the your instructions. Okay, whatever the instructions is there from the input unit, like as I explain you for the left click, that means it need to select. So it when I click, it will select. If I right click, then for right click, I have some set of properties. राईट क्लिक कशासाठी यूज करतात की त्या स्लाइडच्या प्रॉपर्टीज बघण्यासाठी. मग what are the different properties? I can cut this slide, I can copy it and I can paste it somewhere. I can create new slide or duplicate slide, delete, add section, publish, check for updates, layout, what are the different layout for this slide. If I wish to reset the formatting, the format background, hide slide and many more options are there. Okay, so for right click, it is said that it should give that object property, and for left click, it is said that it should select that particular object. Okay, these instructions are already there, already maintained here in the control unit, and just if the instruction is received, the task of control unit is to follow it, and we will get something output. Either it may be in the form of display or it may be like in the form of printers and other part. Okay, by this way the data is flow, like this it is stored, if I required I will process it. Process data is again going to be stored. If required, I will take in the form of output, like either it will be a display or it will be in the form of printout. Okay, it depend on like what I wish to have. Okay, so this is how the input, when it comes, it goes for two parts, either for storage, for storing purpose, or the second way, either for this processing. एक तर डेटा तुम्ही नुसतं स्टोअर करण्यासाठी, इफ मूवी, लेट्स टेक एन एक्झाम्पल ऑफ MP4 फाईल, that means a movie, you will store somewhere. If required, you are going to watch at some time later. असं होत नाही की तुम्ही पेनड्राईव्ह मधनं मूवी घेतली आणि लगेच बघायला लागली. No, this is I think not happen. You are going to store it first and then you are going to like visualize, and after this you are going to store, or you either going to delete it or you will keep for further reference again. Okay, but if you have this Excel sheet, let's say in last time I recorded your attendance. Okay, now I need to process the data. If I wish to have remove the duplicates, okay, I will click on this line, I will go here, I will add filter, smallest to largest. If I found any redundant entries, like if I have multiple times, let's say 22, let's say roll number 22 has given attendance, or I have mistakenly written 2 times, so I can easily come to know this 22 is like repeatedly occurred. So I will delete this record, and if I wish this, so easily I will come to know roll number 3 to 8 are absent for the last lecture, then roll number 13, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so likewise, that means I'm doing the processing. See, this is data for me as a attendance, but if I give to some other faculty member, they will say like the data is given for me as a finding missing values, because the data is not talking anything. हा डेटा म्हणजे काय की थोडक्यात रॉ मटेरियल. नाउ टू प्रोसेस अ डेटा, एव्हरी इंडिव्हिज्युअल हॅव अ डिफरंट पर्स्पेक्टिव्ह. प्रत्येकाचा पर्स्पेक्टिव्ह काय असतोय, वेगळा असतोय. आता हा डेटा माझ्याकडे आलाय. सो व्हॉट आय विल डू, आय विल ट्राय टू फाइंड आउट द absent numbers. If this data goes to some other person, what he will think, I think the data, some values are missing, and he will note those values, but he don't know those values are for absent numbers. But he will find out, and he will do something based on those numbers, right? And that is the reason we have a wide area in the data science. ओके, याच्यासाठी याचाच एक पार्ट काय झालाय की डेटा सायन्स मध्ये इतक्या ऑपॉर्च्युनिटीज किंवा इतका स्कोप का आहे, बिकॉज एव्हरी डेटा, फॉर द डेटा आय एम हॅव्हिंग द डिफरंट मिनिंग, फॉर यू it has a different meaning. Let's take an example of my hand. I hope my hand is visible. Yes, is it visible to you?
No, sir.
Okay, don't go to my screen, shared screen. Just check my name, Pankaj Gaikwad. I have kept my video on. Okay, now have you find my hand here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now
Visible.
this is we called it as a data. This my hand is a data for you. Let's say now what you are seeing this side, right? You may call it as like a brown skin, but for me, hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but let's say from your side it's a brown skin, and from, if you look it from my perspective, okay, I will change this now dimension. Now this way, is my hand visible to you? Okay, I maybe,
No, sir.
yes, just a minute, I'll try to reconnect it. Okay, now is it visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now check. You may find now this is a white screen, a white skin. But now if you can see from my perspective, now it's a brown skin. The data is same. This we call it as a multi-dimensional data model. See, from your end, you are making some perceptions. From my end, I'm making some perception based on what? The same data. So this we called it as a multi-dimensional data model. Okay, so the data is, like we already said, it's a raw material. How we process the data and what we want from that data, whether I wish to make some calculations, or whether I should make some or whether I wish to find out some missing values, or whether I wish to find out some relation between two values. Okay, so the perception is vary from one person to other person, and that is why every time the data is growing a huge manner, and there is a wide scope to work on the data. Okay, so this is about like the input value from here, the data. It is very important, your input should be clear. If it is an instruction, the instruction should be clear. If instructions are clear, then it will be like you are going to get a clear output. If instructions are wrong, that means if, like this way, if the data is the wrong, you will get the wrong output. Take an example of weather forecasting. Now, why we cannot give the 100% guarantee that the rain may fall today? Because there are certain, like it is not a fixed pattern, like let's say 30th October. If there is a rainfall happen 30th October 2020, it doesn't have any meaning like the rain will like today we have the rainfall. It doesn't any meaning, because it's not a one-time event. Okay, it's not a one-time event. So we need to have like 30 October, let's say previous 10 years of data, 30 October 2020, 19, 2018, 17, 16, up to let's say 2010, 30 October 2010 to 30 October 2020. If we have this data of 10 years, या दिवशी लाईक मिनिट बाय मिनिट वेदर फॉरकास्टिंगचा जर तुमच्याकडे डेटा असेल तर त्याच्यावरून तुम्ही यू विल बी मोर क्लोज टू द प्रेडिक्शन की टुडे यू विल हॅव द रेनफॉल, अदरवाईज यू मे नॉट हॅव. तर हे जे काही जर थोडंफार जर इनपुट मध्ये गडबड असेल सो यू विल नॉट गेट अ सर्टन मीन्स अ करेक्ट व्हॅल्यू. So my point is like, if you have a clear data, if you have clear inputs, then your control, the processing will be done by this CPU. Again, basically with control unit. If your processing is related with the mathematics, it will be carried out this ALU, arithmetic logical unit. And again, it will go to the storage. Once it permanently store on the memory, it will be available for your display or like for printing purpose. So this is how the data flows. Okay, do you have any doubts in this flow diagram, data flow diagram? याच्यामध्ये काही doubts आहेत का? Hello.
No, sir.
Okay, now we will move to next, Python. Okay, the Python programming language. Now just go through this. The first chapter is a very theoretical. Python, so it was created by Guido van Rossum. When it was created, 1985 to 1990. And when this C programming language was invented, it is invented around, yes? Can anybody tell me?
1970s near about.
Yes, correct. So it was started with C programming language, but I will tell you while we are doing some programming, what are the hurdles are there. And so, and because of this reason, we are going to move with this Python. Now, like Perl and Python, source code is available under this GNU. What does it means? General Public License, GPL, we called it as a GPL. When we name this as a general public license, that means we are allowed to have some modifications in the Python programming language. See, okay, if you have, let's say, Microsoft Windows system, okay, this is what will we find. Okay, this is what a Windows. For Windows also, we don't have the code available over internet. Why? Because it is not come under this GPL licenses. These licenses are allowed user to make their own changes as per their requirement. Also, we called it as a open source. यालाच काय म्हणतो आपण open source, because it is ready for user, all the user to make certain changes, and as per their convenience they can like convert the application. Okay, so it is available to under this GNU GPL, that means general public license. And why we are learning this? Because it's a high level. Now I will tell you why it called it as high level. C programming is also high level. Okay, I will go. Okay, I will type it here. So do you understand what I have written here?
No, sir. It's binary numbers.
Yes, because this is what a binary number, correct? And the binary number, that means computer only knows this binary language, which is in the form of zeros and ones. It is for us very difficult to read all those. See, for P it has some ASCII value, and in last lecture we have seen. Okay, I will type it here again. Okay. See, 97 is the ASCII value for lowercase a. For lowercase d, it has 100. Okay, I will show you this table. Okay, when I write a letter for computer, it will be this value. मी ज्यावेळेस कॅपिटल सॉरी स्मॉल ए लिहितोय स्क्रीनवरती इथे मी इथे काय केला हा स्मॉल ए लिहिला बट इट इज फॉर मी ओके इट इज फॉर मी टू रीड small a but for computer what is it it is in the form of this way. Computer will read a in the form of this zeros and ones. And what is the ASCII value of the small a? This is 97. Okay, if you go with the decimal points, so we'll come to know it will be 97. Okay, येतंय लक्षात कम्प्युटर स्मॉल ए हा रीड नाही करणार कम्प्युटर काय रीड करेल द कन्वर्टेड व्हॅल्यू म्हणजेच काय ही जी लँग्वेज आहे यालाच मशीन लेवल लँग्वेज ऑर लोअर लेवल लँग्वेज म्हणतात आणि जी लँग्वेज दॅट ह्युमन कॅन अंडरस्टँड वी कॉल्ड इट ॲज ह्युमन हाय लेवल लँग्वेज. डिफरन्स काय आलाय तुम्हाला हाय लेवल लँग्वेज कशाला म्हणायचं आणि लो लँग्वेज कशाला म्हणायचं?
Yes, sir.
The low language is nothing but or machine level language is nothing but it which is in the form of binaries and which is understand to the system. We called it as a machine level language or low level language. The language which is easy to read for the human, we called it as a high level language, as like the programming language and this now we are looking for Python. Okay, now it is interpreted. I will okay, when we are going to run the program, we will look how it is interpreted. Also the interactive, the object oriented script language, how the objects are being created and being called in the program, that also we are going to look when we will reach to that point. Okay, okay, before this there are two parts. For converting high level language to the machine level or machine understandable code, we have two parts. One is your compiler and second component is your interpreter. Okay, so in the compiler a complete code is going to be converted into from high level language to the machine level language, understandable language, and then executes it. But what happens here in the interpreter, instead of all programs, all lines, the interpreter is going to execute a line by line. Okay, so that is why Python we call it as an interpreted level language. Here, a whole program is not taken for the execution. Here, a line by line code is taken for the execution. So that is the difference between the interpreted language and the compiler oriented language. Okay, compiler, when the compilation process executes, it will take a complete program. That means if I have 1000 number of lines, जर माझ्याकडे 1000 lines असतील एका प्रोग्रामच्या, तर हा पूर्ण बंच काय केला जातो कंपायलेशन साठी घेतला जातो. Then the semantics and the syntax of the programming language is going to be assessed. If it followed all the rules, then it will move for the execution. Otherwise, compiler will raise an error. But what happened here in the interpreter? Instead of 1000 line, like the line by line execution, first line execute, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line, and so on. Likewise, the execution happens here in the interpreted. Okay. Now, second is the Python designed to be highly readable. Yes, we know as we have the high level language, so it's one of the feature to the languages in the form of readable. It uses the English keywords frequently, whereas the other languages use punctuation. You will find the difference while executing the program. See, for the programming language like C, C++, and other Java programming or .NET, you need to follow certain syntax. Like you need to create some statement which is not required. Now we are saying it not required, but for that programming language it is necessary. म्हणजेच काय, जर मला एखादं स्टेटमेंट प्रिंट करायचं असेल, ओके, आय विल गो टू okay, is screen visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, I will remove this function. I need not to have. See, I just want to wish to print hello world. मला काय प्रिंट करायचंय, फक्त hello world print करायचंय. When I run the program now it will print. But to print this hello world, I need to follow the syntax of C++. Now this is .cpp म्हणजेच काय, I am using the C++ programming. If the file is saved with .c, then I am using the C compiler. Okay, so you need to remember. And for Python, if the file is saved with .py extension, ह्यालाच काय म्हणतात, extensions. C language मधला program we are going to save with .c file extension. Okay, .c. For C++, we are going to save program with that means program name .cpp as extension. And for Python, we are having file name .py. Okay, you need to remember this. Okay, now when I run, it gives me output, but I need to follow this syntax. See, मला फक्त print काय करायचं होतं, hello world, which is there in the one line, but I need to follow the syntax of up to 7 line. I need to write a program, but this is not the thing in Python compiler. Okay, I will show you the Python editor as well. See, I have only one line, print hello world. When I run, it will print it. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, why I called here it as English keyword frequently, whereas other languages use punctuation, and it has a fewer syntax construction than the other. Fewer काय की इथे, as this is a interpreter level language, as Python is an interpreter level language, it need not to be have all those like the class declaration, then your method declaration to print something. Just write print. This is what a function. And if you write something in double inverted comma, single inverted comma, so it will come to know the instruction is to display. Just when I click on run button, so it will display it. Okay. So if you go through the programming course, so you will find you may forget about C and C++ language, as Python is a very simple to understand, as it has a less like syntax part. Okay, then we have some advantages with learning the Python. It's an interpreted language, so the Python processed at runtime by the interpreter, so we need not to compile a complete program before executing it. So the time is required to go through all the program, that means all the lines of the program, and then checking the syntax and semantics of the program, whether it is followed or not. And then like if there are calculation, then execution time, computation time, and then execution time. So these things are happening. But in the Python programming, as it's an interpreter, so the line by line is going to be considered here for the execution. Python is interactive. See, for interactive, just now I have given you the example. If I only इथं मला काय म्हणायचं की display करा, so I need only this print. It will print the message. Okay, and other features also we are going to discuss. Object oriented. Python supports all the object oriented. Now, can you tell me what are the principles of object-oriented programming language? Yes, anybody? The principles of object-oriented programming language.
No, sir.
Okay, because have you gone through C++ programming?
No, sir. Only C is in first year.
Okay, so object-oriented concepts you have not gone through, right? Okay, now I will write it here.
Sir, but we listen the words like function oriented, object oriented.
Yes, yes. Just a minute. Okay, I will write it here. Object-oriented programming. Okay, if there is a question for object-oriented programming, you need to remember these four words. Inheritance. Polymorphism. Data abstraction. These two are the features, but if the question is like object, tell me about the object-oriented principles or basic fundamentals of object-oriented programming. So you need to give answer in these four categories: inheritance, polymorphism, data abstraction, and data encapsulation. Okay, now I will tell you in short what is inheritance. Okay, uh, inheritance in a simple way. Okay, I will take the example of now blood group. Okay, my blood group. See, as I'm a kid of my parents. Like now, my mother has O positive and father has let's say A positive. So I don't know the combinations, which one is suitable and other things. Just I'm giving some example. Let's say for me, my blood group either from A positive or it must be from O positive. ओके, म्हणजेच काय की थोडक्यात मी जे काय प्रॉपर्टीज आहेत ह्या मी काय करतोय बेसिक प्रॉपर्टीज और हेरिडेटरी प्रॉपर्टीज हे मी काय करतोय मग पॅरेंट्स कडून मी काय करतोय इनहेरिट करतोय आणि ह्याच प्रॉपर्टीज परत काय असणार आहेत माझे जे काही परत पुढचे आहेत तर त्यांच्यामध्ये सुद्धा ते असणार आहेत बरोबर. तर या लेवलला काय म्हणतात इनहेरिटन्स. दॅट मीन्स हॅव्हिंग प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ वन क्लास टू द अदर क्लास. ओके, ह्या टाईपच्या कॉम्बिनेशन्सला आपण काय म्हणतो पॅरेंट क्लास आणि चाइल्ड क्लास. ओके, आय विल रिप्रेझेंट इट हिअर. लेट्स से I am having the vehicle class. Simple example, I will give you one more. So what are the properties of vehicle class? Vehicle class is having, let's say, wheels. Then it may have brakes. Yes, what are the properties? Engine. Okay, I'm taking this as a sample case. Now I'm having two parts. Here instead of vehicle, I'm having bus. and here I'm having my, let's say, my two-wheeler. Okay, now if you check these properties, आता तुम्ही कुठलीही गाडी घ्या, त्याला चाक असणार आहेत, ब्रेक असणार आहे आणि इंजिन असणार आहे, बरोबर का? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Right. But now from this vehicle class I have inherited two-wheeler and bus. Now bus, आता मी काय सांगितलं, चाक असणार आहेत, पण किती असणार आहेत? It may be like having some eight wheels, and for my two-wheeler I'm having only 2 wheels. It depends. That means it may have some properties of parent class and it may have extra features as well. Now in the two-wheeler I may have something extra as what I can have extra here. Let's take an example. I represent it with seat, and here I may represent with petrol engine or fuel type. Okay, if you take these two entities, the two entities are differ because it has their own properties, but these properties are inherited from the basic class as vehicles. म्हणजे या केसला आपण काय म्हणणार, vehicle is a parent class and these are the child class. It inherits the properties from parent class. Okay, तर इनहेरिटन्स म्हणजेच काय की एका क्लासच्या प्रॉपर्टी जर दुसऱ्या क्लासमध्ये यूज केल्या असतील तर त्या टाइपला काय म्हणतात, इनहेरिटन्स. And why we are using this? To use code reusability. Now here once I created one function with wheels, एक function जर मी wheelचं नाव तयार केलं असेल, here I can pass the value for, see here I need to give, in this case just I will go to program. Okay, इथे जर मी function use केला असेल, parameterized function, that means here I'm passing some value. मग मी टू व्हीलर्स या फंक्शन मध्ये आल्यानंतर व्हील्स या फंक्शन्सला मी काय व्हॅल्यू देणार, यांची फक्त 2, आणि इथे बसला काय मी व्हॅल्यू देणार 8. ओके, n इज इक्वल टू 8. म्हणजेच काय की एकदा मी इथं कोड लिहिला त्या फंक्शनचा तर ते कळते मला इथे परत रिपीटेडली आय कॅन कॉल इट. I need not to write again 10 number of lines for the wheels function again here in two-wheeler and same for the bus. See, this inheritance is basically used for code reusability. Okay, and this is what inheriting the properties from one class to other. मग आता याच्यामध्ये पण there are different types in inheritance. If I'm having directly this way, okay, now forget about this bus. If I have only vehicle and two-wheeler, that means this is a simple inheritance. ह्याला काय म्हणतो आपण, simple inheritance. This is a parent class, this is a child class. If I have one more here, इथे जर याच्यानंतर जर मी ऍड केला, ओके आय विल मेक इट लिटल स्मॉल, इथे ऍड केला, and if I use this way, this we called it as a multi-level inheritance. Okay, that means this class is depend on here, and again it is depend on the properties of parent class. This type of hierarchy we call it as a multi-level inheritance. Okay, now what is multiple? Multiple, just now we have seen I am having this two-wheeler one class, sorry, and this is something. Okay, so okay, so this type of hierarchy we called it as a multiple. Multi-level म्हणजे एका खाली एक, it depends on, one is depend on the other and other is depend on some other. Okay, so एक सलग जर hierarchy असेल, we called it as a multi-level, and multiple in the sense there are multiple classes and there is a dependency. And now we have one more hybrid. Okay, the combination of multi-level and multiple. This type of hierarchy, we called it as a hybrid hierarchy, hybrid inheritance. Okay, basically inheritance म्हणजे समजून घ्या. Inheritance is nothing but acquiring or gaining the properties of base class to the child class or parent class to the child class. It is used for code reusability purpose. Okay, are you getting the concept of inheritance? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now polymorphism. Can you give me the meaning of polymorphism? Polymorphism म्हणजे काय? Yes, can anybody tell me what is polymorphism?
Sir, I think more than one inheritance.
No, don't think about inheritance, but you have said correctly, more than one occurrence. Okay. More than occurrence, we called it as a polymorphism. Now, we have one example. Okay, I will take here example. See here, I have used this plus sign. Okay. Okay, is it visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now just check. The plus sign here I used here for the addition, and now for in terms of the string a plus b, that means it is going to be, the answer is going to be ab, and here the answer is going to be 30. That means here the plus sign has multiple forms. Here it is doing the addition operation, and in this case it is doing the concatenation of two string. Okay, so one function or one operator, if it performs more than one task, so we call this terminology as polymorphism, and it is one of the principle of object-oriented programming. Now here I have given you one example of operator polymorphism. Okay, there is one more part, function polymorphism. Similarly, function with multiple values can give the different results. So that part we called it as a polymorphism. Okay, एक पेक्षा जास्त जर एका फंक्शन मुळे ऑपरेशन्स होत असतील तर त्या पार्टला काय म्हणतात, पॉलिमॉर्फिझम. आता डेटा ऍब्स्ट्रॅक्शन आणि डेटा इनकॅप्सुलेशन इज नथिंग बट yes the data hiding techniques. Now check here. Do you know what is the definition of cout? Cout या फंक्शन ची डेफिनेशन तुम्हाला माहिती आहे का?
No, sir, we only gone through C.
Yes. But instead of, okay, I will write it, I will go to C. Now, do you know the definition of here printf? Definition म्हणजे की त्या फंक्शनने काय करायला पाहिजे, त्याची बॉडी. Do you know about this?
Yes, sir, yes.
And where it is? Do you find the body of printf statement here? Body म्हणजे मी काय सांगतोय लक्षात घ्या. Okay, I will write one code here. Okay. Okay, I will type it here only. Instead of increasing the number of line of code, I will use it here. Okay, now check. Sorry, the program is run double time, 2 times. Okay. Yes, is everyone looking here at the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now what I'm asking, the definition. See, here for cout, it is in the white color, correct? This
Yes,
is
sir.
this display is also in the white color. That means they are the categories of reserved keyword, or you can say like the definition is already present. But ज्यावेळेस आपण म्हणतो की cout हे काय स्टँडर्ड लायब्ररी फंक्शन अँड द डेफिनेशन ऑफ दिस cout काय करायला पाहिजे. आता जसं मी इथं लिहिलंय की डिस्प्लेनी काय करायला पाहिजे, डिस्प्लेनी हा मेसेज डिस्प्ले करायला पाहिजे. काय आहे, दिस इज अंडर दिस इज युजर डिफाईन्ड फंक्शन, बरोबर. डिस्प्लेचं काम काय आहे की त्याने हा मेसेज डिस्प्ले करायचा. म्हणजेच मी ह्याला एक बॉडी डिफाईन केली. व्हेन आय राईट डिस्प्ले, इट नीड टू डिस्प्ले दिस मेसेज. बट डू यू नो व्हॉट इज द बॉडी ऑफ दिस काउंट, cout. ह्या cout ची बॉडी कुठे मिळेल तुम्हाला, iostream.h हेडर फाइल्स मध्ये मिळेल, बरोबर का. जसं प्रिंटफ ची बॉडी कुठे असते तुमची, stdio.h हेडर फाइल मध्ये,
stdio.h.
बरोबर. पण ते तुम्ही कधी बघितलंय का, त्याचं असं कधी बघितलंय का तुम्ही, त्याचं फंक्शन आणि त्याचं म्हणजे त्याच्यामध्ये कुठले स्टेटमेंट्स असतात किंवा काय असते, बघितलंय का?
No, sir.
नाही बघितलेलं, बरोबर. तर याच कॅटेगरीला काय म्हणतात, डेटा ऍब्स्ट्रॅक्शन अँड डेटा इनकॅप्सुलेशन. म्हणजेच काय, हायडिंग द अननेसेसरी इन्फॉर्मेशन. इथे मला coutचं मिनिंग समजून घ्यायचं काही गरज नाही, किंवा त्याच्या मागे कोड काय असेल ते समजून घ्यायची गरज नाही. फक्त मला cout म्हणजे काय माहित पाहिजे की cout हे डिस्प्ले करण्यासाठी यूज करतात. जसं तुमचं प्रिंटफ हे आउटपुट डिस्प्ले करण्यासाठी यूज करतात, तसंच cout C++ मध्ये डिस्प्ले करण्यासाठी यूज केला जातो. की त्याच्या मागं हा कोड काय लिहिलाय, दॅट इज इमटेरियल फॉर्मिंग. ओके, म्हणजेच काय की इफ you wish to hide unnecessary information from the user, this data abstraction is used here in the object oriented programming. Okay, are you getting this data abstraction and encapsulation?
Yes.
Simple way to hide the unnecessary data from the user, we are using data abstraction and data encapsulation. Polymorphism, that means a function with multiple forms. Example I just have given you. The additional operator, it may be used for addition of two numbers. At the same time, addition operator is used for concatenation of two strings. And one more we have seen, inheritance. That means inheriting or acquiring the properties of one class to the other class. Okay, तर तुम्हाला ज्यावेळेस कोणी क्वेश्चन विचारेल, tell me the basic principles of object oriented programming. So you should be in position to tell there are 4 basic principles: inheritance, then encapsulation, data abstraction, and one more, yes, polymorphism. Are you getting this? Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So are you getting this? समजलंय का?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then we'll move to next. See, Python support object oriented style or techniques for programming which encapsulate code within object. Also we call it as a beginner programming language, as we don't have any much syntax part. and also it is used for like the browsing to games. Okay, to create different games over the browser. There are simple characteristics. It supports functional and structured programming. Just now we have seen the object-oriented programming concept. It can be used as a scripting language. Scripting language, that means again it goes line by line. Okay, or can be compiled to bytecode. Bytecode again in the form of zeros and ones. Okay, for building large applications. It provides very high level dynamic data types and support dynamic type checking. Okay, we will go to this type checking again when we will start the programming. It supports automatic garbage collections. It can be easily integrated with C language, C++, then ActiveX, COM, Corba, and Java programming languages. The interpreters, I think we have already discussed how it works with compiler and interpreter. So, but you should know this diagram. An alternative to compiler is nothing but called as interpreter. See, compiler, already I have given you the difference. Compiler is going to execute a collection of code, that means number of lines through the program, and it gives to or it converts to low level language all those lines if it follows the syntax and semantics of the program. But here in the interpreter, we are going to check for line by line. Okay, so it's an alternative for this compiler. The high level language is going to be converted to the lower level language. Also, we call it as a byte level language. Bytecode, sorry, it's a bytecode, not byte level language. It's a bytecode. Rather than convert a program to the language of computer, the interpreter takes the program one statement that I already told. It goes line by line. Line by line means a single statement at a time and execute the corresponding set of machine instruction. And if it requires some help from the standard libraries, like from the Python environment, the library is going to be fetched and your program executes successfully. Okay, so this is about the Python programming language. Now, here I will drop the, okay, just check to your chat box.
What, sir?
Just check your chat box. I have given you the link for online compiler where
Yes,
we can
sir,
run,
yes.
where we can run the first program. I will type one more link in your chat box. Okay, if you click on the second link, you will find this way. On the left hand side, we have a program. On the right hand side, we'll get the output. Yes. Is it accessible to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, maybe in the revision, okay, in the first part of C program revision, we have seen there are like comment line, single line comment and multiple line comment. But for C language, we have given single slash. इथे आपण एकच slash देत होतो comment साठी, but here we are using hash. Hash is used here in the Python programming language to comment the line. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
If you observe here on the left hand side, main.py, just now we have discussed the extension to save your program. Are you getting this? Python मध्ये फाईल कुठल्या टाईपनी कुठल्या नावाच्या एक्सटेन्शनने सेव्ह होते? .py एक्सटेन्शन. आर यू गेटिंग दिस?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So just click on here run button. Okay, do you find the output hello world?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now great. See how simple language is. There is no need to mention the header files. There is no need to mention like the function body and other declaration. Just simply what I used to write, I can write and I can print it. Is it simple or difficult? Yes. Now, okay, this is about a sample program of this sample program of Python. See, we have a very simple first unit. We have only the introductory part of Python. Now, see, in the first point of the second unit, yes, is everyone looking here at the screen? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Now, in the second unit, we are having data types. We are having data types, variables, basic input, output, operations, basic operators. Okay, so how this happens? See, when you are going to learn any programming language, तर त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्ही आधी काय बघता, अक्षर कुठले आहेत, त्याच्यानंतर अक्षरांपासून वर्ड कसे तयार करायचे, कुठे म्हणजे स्टोअर कुठे करणार आहात तुम्ही, त्याच्यानंतर व्हॉट आर द डिफरंट ऑपरेटर्स आर देअर. ऑपरेटर्स इन द सेन्स arithmetic operator, logical operator, then relational operators, like that means how one operator is related with the other. What is literals, what is variable, हे सगळं आपण गोष्टी काय करणार आहोत या सेकंड युनिट मध्ये बघणार आहोत. The contents I will read it again one the sample program, Python literals, operator, variable, and how to talk with computer. So we are going to deal with this second unit. Now before starting with this, just now we have seen a sample program. Okay. Now we'll start with, see, like इथेच सगळे तुम्ही प्रोग्राम करण्यापेक्षा we'll go step by step. We will start with the variable. Now, what you know about variables? You just tell me first. Variable म्हणजे काय सांगा, and why to use variable? Anyone? Hello, am I audible? Okay, now tell me what is variable or why to use variables?
Variable are the data types store value.
Okay, correct. But there is little corrections are required. See, variable is an identifier which is required to store a value of a particular type. मी परत एकदा सांगतो, variable is nothing but an identifier which is required to store value of a particular data type. आतापर्यंत ओके, इथेच मी टाइप करेन. इथे ओके, लेट्स से int a is equal to 10. आतापर्यंत काय बघितलंय, या टाइपचं आपण व्हेरिएबल डिक्लेरेशन इनिशियलायझेशन बघितले. आर यू गेटिंग दिस? Hello.
Yes,
Are you getting this?
yes, sir. Yes.
ओके. आता या टाईपचे म्हणजेच काय झालं, हा व्हेरिएबल ए जो आहे हा व्हॅल्यू 10 होल्ड करतो, बट ही 10 कुठल्या टाईपची व्हॅल्यू आहे? इट इज ऑफ टाईप इंटिजर. ओके, द व्हॅल्यू इज ऑफ टाईप इंटिजर, राईट? नाउ ओके, आय विल गो टू हिअर. Let's say int see what does it prints? Hello world, and then it prints this 3319864484. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will write one more line here. See, now this we are using as a online compiler. Okay, as we are using the online compiler, the memory where this 10 stored is changes online, okay, automatically. But if you observe, see, हे 10 कुठं स्टोअर केले? See, when I'm going to print the value of a, it prints 10, but I wish to know where this 10 is stored. हे 10 कुठं स्टोअर केलंय? तर त्याच्यासाठी काय करतो मी, एम्परसेंट ए, म्हणजेच काय की ऍड्रेस ऑफ ए, या व्हेरिएबलचा ऍड्रेस मेमरी वरती कुठे आहे तो मला डिस्प्ले करायचा आहे, त्यासाठी %u हे यूज केलं जातं. ओके, सो व्हॉट आय एम फाइंडिंग हियर, at which location this value 10 is stored. Okay, it is stored at this location. Now I will type once again. See, again the address of this 10 variable is changed due to this online compiler. But if you have implemented on your compiler, if you wish to implement it on your compiler, so you'll get the same memory. Now check for integer how much space for this. Okay, for this variable a, for this variable a, as I have declared the type of integer, it stores or it reserves this 4 bytes and at memory location this. ह्या मेमरी लोकेशनची 4 बाईट ही, इथून पुढची 4 बाईट ही मेमरी काय असणार आहे, रिझर्व असणार आहे. कशासाठी? तर हा 10 स्टोअर करण्यासाठी. ओके, आय कॅनॉट टाइप दिस वे इन 10, सो द कंपायलर विल रेज मी एरर. व्हेरिएबल कशासाठी यूज करतो आपण? व्हेरिएबल इज रिक्वायर्ड टू स्टोअर द व्हॅल्यू ऑफ अ पर्टिक्युलर टाइप. इथे कॅरेक्टर असेल, इंटिजर असेल, फ्लोट असेल, डबल असेल. ओके, देर आर डिफरंट टाइप्स. आर यू गेटिंग दिस? हे समजतंय का तुम्हाला की व्हेरिएबल कशासाठी यूज करायचा?
Yes, sir.
ओके, सो वी आर हियर. ओके, a variable in programming is used to store a data, or you can say the values of a particular time. Okay, of a particular type. But now for our case, take an example. A is equal to 10, b is equal to 1.1. Here a and b, this a and b are the variables. variable A has the value 10, variable B has a value 1.1, and here this equal to has assignment operator. See, I think we have already discussed what is equal to and what is this equal to. Okay. Do you remember the difference between this equal to and double equal to?
Yes, sir.
Yes, this single equal to is for assigning the values from right hand side to the left hand operand, and this double equal to is used to compare the left operand value of this left operand with value of right operand. Okay, this double equal to is comparison operator, single equal to is assignment operator. So remember this. Okay, I got one message here in the chat box. What is the use of %u? Okay, I will go back to that. Here is equal to 10. See, this is what a format specifier. If I use the variable of integer type, then to display, I need to use %d as a format specifier. If I use here character data type, then either I can use %c or %es. %c for to display only single character, %es for displaying the word, that means collection of characters. Okay, now for float, if I define it as a float, then I need to use here it as %f. But now if you see, this is the out of range of my integer value. Here जरी तुम्हाला integer value दिसत असली, but there is some limit for integer values, and this value is greater than the range of integer values. To handle all those large values, we are using this unsigned. Okay, here %u means what? It is unsigned integer. Okay, are you getting this? And the unsigned integer has a large range as compared to your integer %d. म्हणून मी इथे काय केलंय की %u यूज केलाय. Okay, it is used for unsigned integer. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
It's a format specifier. In short, it's a format specifier. But why to use it? Because we are having this value greater than the range of the integer value. Okay, so for this reason I have written here as a %u as a format specifier. Okay, now we'll move back to our here program. Okay, now you can, okay, I will move to now Python editor. See here, one more thing, the comma is not required here. See, if you wish, you can give it, but as like the other programming language, there is no necessity here to give semicolon to end your syntax. Without semicolon also it works. Okay, this is one thing. Now for a programming language here, let's say just now we have seen the example A is equal to 10. B we have taken it as, I will go to example 1.1. Okay, B equal to 1.1. But you may be worried, I have not defined here, I have not mentioned the type of variable. हे variable कुठल्या टाइपची व्हॅल्यू होल्ड करणार आहे हे मी मेन्शन केलंय का नाही. This is what implicitly type casting of the variables. Okay, मी जो तुम्हाला इथं पॉइंट सांगितला होता, it does implicit type checking. Okay, it is very high level dynamic data types and supports dynamic type checking. Okay, otherwise my C compiler has given me the error like the type is not found. Okay, so here it is not necessary to mention this is a type of integer or this is a type of float. Okay, so just check. I'm going to print the value, print what I wish to print, A, and print the value of B. Run the program. It will print the value of A, that is 10, and it will print the value of b as 1.1. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just take 1 minute and implement it. The link is already there in your chat box. Okay, I will share once again. Okay, just click on the link and type a is equal to 10, b is equal to 1.1, and next statement write print in bracket a, print in bracket b, and click on the run. Yes, after execution, click here on the run button. Okay, are you getting it? Hello.
Sir, I have one question, sir.
I'll start once again. Okay, now the next is what? Here we have initialized and we have taken it output. Second part, what we are going to look, changing the variable values. Now just check. First, I have initialized the 10 to variable a. On the second line, I mentioned the same variable with a different value, that is 1. So what is my observation? Initially, 10 was stored in the variable using a is equal to 10, but now its value is changed to 1 using this second line. Just check. I will repeat this statement here again. A is equal to 1, and when I run this program, see, previously for some memory location of a variable, 10 was stored, but now in the second line, again I have stored one value. Now what we called it as,
वतायचं असते टाकायचं वतायचं नाही हे तसं नाही
okay. See, please try to keep mute, otherwise it creates a disturbance. Okay.
नाही मला.
See, here a is equal to 10, and in the second line, ह्यालाच काय म्हणतात? Overwrite operation. I will make here in the overwrite करता म्हणजे काय, की आधीची जी काय व्हॅल्यू असेल ती इरेज करून तुम्ही दुसरी व्हॅल्यू तिथे काय करता, स्टोअर करताय, त्याला म्हणतात ओव्हरराइट ऑपरेशन्स. ओके. If you are replacing, we know Python is an interpreter. That means what? It executes a line by line. Printf हे एक्झिक्यूट करणार, प्रिंट करणार, त्याच्यानंतर a it is going to be stored, आणि परत काय करतो, a व्हेरिएबलला 1, म्हणजेच काय की आधीची जी व्हॅल्यू आहे 10, it is going to be overwritten with this new value. मग आता a व्हेरिएबलला कुठली व्हॅल्यू स्टोअर असणार आहे, ही लेटेस्ट अपडेटेड व्हॅल्यू. सो इट प्रिंट्स 1. Okay, so that is what I wish to make you clear. If you are using in your programming like such scenario, if the value of your variable is changed after it is initialized, so the changed value will be saved permanently in the memory space. Okay. Now there are certain rules for naming the variables. व्हेरिएबलला म्हणजेच इथे कुठल्या टाईपचं नाव देऊ शकतो आपण. ओके, सो अगेन वी हॅव सीन द रूल्स फॉर आयडेंटिफायर्स. व्हेरिएबल म्हणजेच काय की थोडक्यात एक आपला आयडेंटिफायरच आहे. सो कॅन यू रिवाइज मी द रूल्स फॉर आयडेंटिफायर. आयडेंटिफायर साठी रूल्स कुठले आहेत माहिती तुम्हाला?
No, sir.
There are basic rules. It could not be start, your name of variable cannot be start with name, sorry, number. Okay, I will make it here and I will try to execute one by one so that you'll find the difference accordingly. See, first rule, a variable name consists of alphabets, that is from small letter 0 to A to Z and capital A to Z, digits 0 to 9 and underscore. Okay, या ह्याच्यामध्ये तुम्ही नंबर नेम देऊ शकता एखाद्या व्हेरिएबलचं. काय काय तर एक स्मॉल केस असतील, कॅपिटल केस असेल किंवा नंबर असेल किंवा अंडरस्कोर असेल, तर यांच्या कॉम्बिनेशन्स मध्ये तुम्ही इथे जसं मी ए लिहिलंय तसं तुम्ही त्या व्हेरिएबलचं नाव देऊ शकताय. नाव द कंडिशन, यू कॅनॉट स्टार्ट अ व्हेरिएबल नेम विथ डिजिट्स, म्हणजे तुम्ही नंबरनी व्हेरिएबलचं नाव स्टार्ट करू शकत नाही. ओके, जस्ट टेक एन एक्झाम्पल. I will remove this line. Now I have variable A. Okay, for this I will run first. Okay, you'll find it is working correctly. Now what is the case? You cannot start a variable name with digits. Say I will do here digit 1a, म्हणजेच काय, ह्या व्हेरिएबलचं नाव 1a is the name of variable. It is started with digits. बरोबर, तर मी इथे कॉल करेल 1a याच नावाने, ज्या नावाने व्हेरिएबल आहे त्याच नावाने मला काय करायला लागतो, कॉल करायला लागतो. देन इट विल गो फॉर डिस्प्ले. नाउ चेक. So it gives me an error, invalid syntax, because what is the rule? You cannot start a variable name with digit. Okay, so I cannot start my variable name with a number, but I can use number in between. Now check. Instead of 1a, I have given the name of variable as a1 and I have changed here accordingly. So when I run the program, it gives me what it makes sense की व्हेरिएबलचं नाव हे कुठल्याही नंबरने स्टार्ट होणार नाही. आर यू गेटिंग दिस?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now what is the next? Use underscore if you want to create a variable name having 2 or more words. Okay, see, I wish to give here as a roll number. Okay, I wish to create roll number. हे रोल नंबर नावाचं मला काय करायचं, व्हेरिएबल डिक्लेअर करायचं. बट आय डोंट वॉन्ट दिस इज अ कम्प्लीट लेटर. मला हे एक सलग नकोय, मग मला काय पाहिजे, स्पेस द्यायला पाहिजे. बट स्पेस इज ऑल्सो नॉट अलाउड इन द व्हेरिएबल नेम. व्हॉट आय विल डू, I will connect these two words with underscore. Roll underscore name, that means there is no space and underscore is allowed if you check the first rule. Okay, and here I'm going to use the same for display. Roll underscore number and I will display run. Okay, it display me. Are you getting this? Hello. Okay,
Yes.
now we have a special note here. There are some reserved keywords that we cannot use as a variable name as they have the special meaning, as like of our control structure, like if, for, else, then, as like these are the reserved keywords. We'll take one example here out of this. Let's say if या नावाने मी variable घेऊ शकत नाही because it is a reserved keyword. So if I declare this way, if is equal to 1, I run, it gives me as invalid syntax because this is what it's a reserved keyword. And what is the difference here again? I have written a capital if. So there is no any reserve or like the type definition for capital if. But if you use small if, which is a reserved keyword, we know we have a different ASCII values for each and every letter, right? And this if, it has already one meaning to check the condition. In the programming language, if एकासाठी वापरलं जातं एक कंडिशन चेक करण्यासाठी, प्रोग्राम मध्ये कंडिशन चेक करण्यासाठी इफ हे स्टेटमेंट यूज केलं जातं. बट इट इज इन द स्मॉल लेटर्स, नॉट इन द कॅपिटल. फॉर कॅपिटल इफ वी कॅन गिव्ह we can assign one value, but remember don't use these capital letters as well, कारण याचं meaning हे meaning is different if is used for some condition. Okay, you may try these rules. हे तुम्ही rules इथे try करू शकता variable ला different way नी. Okay, so we will stop here.